A man carrying 500 grams of marijuana tried to steal an airplane to go fly and see his girlfriend, and an angry woman loses her mind at a city council meeting over wearing masks, and a woman sues for paternity test on her goats, and a man with a machete tattoo on his face has been accused of a machete attack. All of these stories are from one place, one state. You know what it is. It's Florida. Why? Because it's Friday, and we do Florida Fridays right here on Weird AF News. All the weird stories coming out of our favorite degenerate state. That's right, Florida, baby. I'm Jonesy, the host of Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian, and the only daily weird news podcast that does Florida Fridays. Let's do it.
Those bizarre stories you hear about all the time that seem to only happen here in Florida.
I know, right?
Can't make this stuff up. It is just one of the many wacky news stories out of Florida.
Why does the Sunshine State consistently produce such strange news?
But what accounts for all this bizarre news? Is it the weather? Is it the people?
Florida is full of the crazy stories.
A Florida man carrying 500 grams of marijuana tried to steal an airplane to go meet his girlfriend. A Florida man is behind bars after he attempted to steal an airplane at the New Smyrna Beach Municipal Airport. Why? Why steal a plane? Well, he's a Florida man, that's why. He wanted to steal the plane so he could fly to California to meet his girlfriend, while carrying nearly 500 grams of marijuana, according to the police. Oh, yes, this is a story about love, really, at the end of the day. Where are you, baby? I want to see you. Would you like to smoke up? Oh, you're in Orange County? I'll be right there. Give me 8 hours. I will secure transportation. Over the weekend, officers were alerted that a stolen vehicle had been found at the airport. While in the process of locating that stolen vehicle, the officers were flagged down by a man who said it was his vehicle that was actually stolen. The victim told the officers a story about a man unknown to him who jumped into the back of his truck and offered him $1,000 for a ride. The man then got out of the truck, but he left behind some equipment. A grinder, a scale, and a cell phone, a.k.a. paraphernalia. While the officers were speaking to the man about his truck, they were contacted by a flight instructor about a man with a blue bag who was spotted crouching on the wing of a plane on a portion of the tarmac that was not accessible to the public. According to their report later, apparently that man had asked the flight instructor how he could fly a plane. The officers went to the tarmac. They saw the man sitting in the right seat of the aircraft. When the officers approached him, he asked them how to fly the plane. This is unbelievable. This guy just wants to get out of it. Excuse me, guys, could you tell me how to fly a plane? I need to go see my girl. Oh, shoot, you're the police. The man saw that it was the police and then jumped from the emergency exit window of the plane, and it was detained quickly by the officers. The man was identified as 22-year-old Robert Stinestra. He was secured in the back of the patrol car. The officers returned to the plane, and they took his duffel bag into evidence. They found his ID, headphones, cigarillos, a laptop, a glass pipe found was tested, and it was positive for methamphetamine. Ooh, that's the magical chemical that made him think he could fly away. Ooh, smoke my meth and fly away. It's Florida. It's Florida. Oh, yeah. Meth makes you think you can do anything, conquer the world. At least he still had the wherewithal to realize, well, I really don't know how to work a plane. Let me ask somebody. Unfortunately, he asked the police. Also inside the duffel bag was a container holding marijuana. Yes, loads and loads of marijuana. He wanted to smoke up with his lady in Cali. Doesn't he know there's better weed in Cali? He didn't need to bring his own. The defendant, according to the report, stated some pretty outlandish things. He claimed that he purchased the aircraft for $20,000 cash recently, and he was going to fly to California to meet his girlfriend. He advised he did not have paperwork for the plane, and he didn't know the person that he bought it from. He stated that he was let onto the airfield by some security. It should be known that there is no security on duty at this airport. No kidding. And he didn't buy the plane, obviously. And more lies. As Stinestra was being questioned by the officers, he told them that he was a manager for a medical marijuana dispensary and that he was transporting the marijuana to California. Yeah. Investigators said Stinestra had nearly 500 grams of the marijuana, the devil's weed. and that he illegally trespassed onto New Smyrna Beach airport property. Yeah, I think we know that. Stanestra was taken to the county jail on charges of, guess what, grand theft, possession of paraphernalia, trespassing in an operational area of an airport, of an operational area? I guess that's what they call the runway. Possession of cannabis, and leaving the scene of a crash involving damage. Oh, what did he crash? He didn't even get the plane going. How did he crash? At the end of the day, this is just typical Florida man behavior. You add a little meth and a little love, and it'll make you do some crazy things, you know? I'll tell you right now, they really should bottle up this Florida man confidence and sell it. I would buy a gallon and then make all my drastic dreams come true. An angry Florida lady loses her mind at a council meeting over wearing masks. She didn't want to do it. Nobody in Florida wants to wear masks. You can't get these crazy Floridians to not drive drunk. How are you going to get them to wear a mask of some sort? Oh, they're not afraid of anything. They live among the alligators. They're mating in the streets, and they don't give a damn. This is Florida, do you not know? But there have been thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of new cases of coronavirus. Palm Beach County held a vote on a measure that would require everyone to wear masks in public places. Well, that sounds reasonable to me, with thousands and thousands of new cases every day. Well, before they took the vote, the county commission listened to several citizens argue against the mandate, and things got pretty weird when one woman's rant went completely off the rails.
You literally cannot mandate somebody to wear a mask knowing that that mask is killing people. It literally is killing people. And we the people are waking up, and we know what citizen's arrest is, because citizen's arrests are already happening, okay? And every single one of you that are obeying the devil's laws are going to be arrested.
Whoa, the devil's laws? What are the devil's laws? Laws handed down by the community to save your life, young lady? Do tell. I'd like to hear more about the devil's laws, please.
And you, doctor, are going to be arrested for crimes against humanity.
The problem with humanity today is ignorance.
I love how people in Florida want to tell us about the problems with humanity. Yes. Go on, Florida. I want to hear more.
Arrogance and apathy. Keep taking the road of least resistance. Keep listening to the TV brainwashing you from birth.
And they want to throw God's wonderful breathing system out the door.
Ooh, God's wonderful breathing system thrown out the door. Can someone explain to me what that means? God's wonderful breathing system. Is she talking about the lungs that I was born with? Is that God's breathing system? And how? How am I throwing it out the door by wearing a mask? Please tell me, Florida. I just need to know.
Doctor, I really have many question marks about your degrees and what you really know. I'm sorry, ma'am, but I don't think that you are worthy of your credentials. And I would ask suggestively that you go back to school and get educated. Ma'am.
Oh, yes, like you, hon, and everybody else in Florida. So educated. Oh, I think everybody in Florida needs to realize none of us are educated. We're just doing the best we can down there, Can you imagine these, the local government in Florida? They really, you got to give them some credit here. They're trying to do something. But instead, they're getting such backlash from the idiots in the community. One Florida woman was quoted as saying, "I don't wear a mask for the same reason I don't wear underwear. Things got to breathe." Come on. Things got to breathe. Oh, boy. I can't be covering up God's breathing apparatus. It's a sin. It says so in the Bible. Thou shalt not cover the God's gracious breathing apparatus. You know, that apparatus I use when I go to karaoke. I love singing karaoke. Any man in Margaritaville. And I got pet alligators, but I social distance from them 6 feet away. I tell them, I said, hey, Gerald, 6 feet away. One of them's name's Gerald. I name my alligators. Ain't nothing weird going on here. I'm just saying, I don't want to wear a mask. First thing, I wear a mask. Next thing you know, you're taking my Social Security and you're giving it to the devil. That's what's happening. Oh, sorry, I just lost my mind there trying to do an impression of an insane Florida woman. Well, look, this is a dangerous place, this state, and it's blowing up with cases. Something's got to be done. I applaud a local community for mandating masks. I mean, imagine the just because of the blowback that you're going to get down there. Just trying to save lives, guys. Just trying to save some Floridians' lives.
It's Florida Friday, only on Weird AF News.
A Florida woman sues for paternity test on goats. The goat's owner seeks the DNA for 5 goats. Their names are Bella, Gigi, Rosie, Zelda, and Margot, because she believes that they could be registered with the American Dairy Goat Association, and therefore worth more. Yes, this woman filed a lawsuit seeking either a paternity test on her goats or a refund for the goats. She's not messing around. Her name is Chris Hedstrom. She filed this goat lawsuit against her neighbor, Heather Daner, last month, seeking DNA for the goats that she purchased from them. Hedstrom paid Daner $900 for 5 Nigerian dwarf goats. According to the lawsuit, Hedstrom believed that the goats, named, once again, Bella, Gigi, Rosie, Zelda, and Margot, could be registered with the American Dairy Goat Association, which is a group that records goat pedigrees. Registered goats have higher values than unregistered goats. Daner, who has been selling goats at Baxter Lane Farm for about 10 years, typically provides information to her clients so they can register their animals themselves. She said the father goat was registered, but the media reports the American Dairy Goat Association rejected Hedstrom's application to register the babies because Daner is not an active member of the Goat Association, apparently. Proving paternity would require about 40 of the father goat's hair follicles for a DNA test. So Hedstrom wrote Daner a letter requesting this DNA. Daner offered to refund the money in exchange for the goats. She said Hedstrom called the police on her for 3 months straight and has trespassed on her farm. A county sheriff deputy visited the property at least 3 times in the spring. Daner claims she didn't hear anything else from Hedstrom until the lawsuit was filed. And that's the end of the story. Whoa, boy, some goat drama down there in Odessa, Florida. Shoot! Well, I bought them goats, man. You better tell me about my goats. I want a DNA test, find out where Gigi, Rosie, Zelda, and Margot are from. I think these goats are actually worth $1,200 instead of $900, neighbor. The strange things people fight about in Florida. It's really crazy. This article is quite enjoyable because you learn a lot. First of all, you can get 5 goats for $1,000. That's pretty cheap, right? I didn't know that these goats had names like Nigerian dwarf goats. I mean, that's fantastic. Are they actually from Nigeria? I would assume they'd be more than $1,000 for 5 of them if they're from Nigeria. And you know, the American Dairy Goat Association is a thing and records goat pedigrees. That's fascinating. You know, I might get into the goat business. Why the hell not? I'm recording a podcast in a closet. There's got to be a better life than this, right? What the article doesn't tell you is how much a goat DNA test costs. I'm curious about that. You know, Florida is a state that's probably pretty known for DNA tests because everybody's trying to figure out who their daddy is down there. You know what I'm saying? You like podcasts? You're listening to my podcast. Maybe you thought to yourself, I'd like to make a podcast. Too difficult. No, not with Anchor. Anchor has free creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor distributes your podcast to Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. They have advertising integration, so you can even make a little money off your podcast. Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your creation. Good luck with your life, man. A man with a machete tattoo on his face has been accused of a machete attack. Yeah, rather fitting. It would make no sense if he was accused with a chainsaw attack. That wouldn't make sense at all. This man with an apparent machete tattoo right on his face. And if you haven't seen it, just Google machete tattoo on the face and Florida. There'll probably be more than one, though, I'd imagine, because it's Florida. And by the way, terrible tattoo. Like the location is right under one of his eyes, and it's huge. But there's no tats anywhere else that you could see on his face or his head. It's just this random machete under one eye. It looks like he wiped that black under eye stuff that football players wear before they play a game. That's what it looks like. Strange choice. Strange choice. I don't know how you get a job with a machete tattoo under your eye. Where do you see yourself in 4 years, son? Well, I see like a second machete tattoo underneath my other eye to even everything out. Great. You sound like you have some goals. We'd like to hire you, sir. Where are you working? Where are you working with a machete tat under your eye? Where are you working? Who is swiping right on your Tinder profile? You got a machete tat under your eye. Who? Although it's Florida. I don't know. Maybe this is normal behavior. I'll tell you who. Justin Arthur Allen Couch. He's got 4 names. Don't trust guys with 4 names. I'm telling you right now. He's age 25, was arrested and charged with aggravated battery. Aggravated battery. Charged with battery. When is battery not aggravated, by the way? Are some people like, oh, that battery felt great? The man said Couch struck him in the arm and leg with the flat side of the machete's blade as they argued outside the victim's home. The victim told authorities Couch then swung the machete at the victim's face. In order to block the strike, the victim quickly placed his left arm in front of his face. Oh, my goodness. The victim's left forearm was struck with the blade of the machete. The victim felt severe pain and then passed out. That's what it says. It says he felt severe pain and then he passed out. Luckily, he wasn't chopped up into bits by machete under eye man. The victim told deputies that Couch later took him to a friend's house and that this friend drove him to the hospital. The argument started after Couch didn't want to let the victim inside his house for unknown reasons. Yeah. Oh, no. They're known reasons, right? He's got a house full of machetes in there. He's like, you can't come in here and see my machetes. Oh, no. Nobody's trying to take my machetes. I bought 1,000 of them off the QVC network. Oh, man. I mean, the poor guy almost got his arm cut off, but you kind of have to blame him. Look, if you're hanging out with a guy who's got a machete tattoo under his eye, if you're hanging out with a face tat machete person, yeah, a machete tat on the face, I mean, you got to expect you're going to be cut eventually, right? Just me. Yay! If you like podcasts, check out Spotify. You can listen to all your favorite artists and podcasts in one place for free. You don't even need a premium account. Spotify has a huge selection of podcasts on every topic, including this one that you're listening to right now. And you can easily share what you're listening to with friends on Instagram as well. So download the Spotify app, search for your favorite podcast, and also make sure to follow Weird AF News and never miss an episode. Yes, download Spotify and make your life easier. Well, my fellow weirdos, thank you for listening to another episode of Florida Fridays. I want to thank everybody who sent me articles. You can always send me weird stuff if you think it might be appropriate for the show. My email is funnyjones@gmail.com. You can also reach me on Facebook at Comedian Jonesy, Instagram at funnyjones, and Twitter at funnyjones as well. Hope you have a lovely weekend. I love to lead you into the weekend with degenerate news from Florida. It makes you feel good about your own life, right? No matter what you're doing this weekend. Even if you're working, you're like, oh, I'm stuck working all weekend. Well, you're like, well, you know, at least I'm not being attacked by a guy with a machete tattoo on his face. You know? Weird AF News in that way is sort of a bit of therapy. I never thought of it that way, but yeah, totally. Listen, someone mailed me some stuff. I don't know who it was. Somebody mailed me guitar-related items, like a bunch of guitar picks and a little, like a guitar stand that you mount on the wall. And I cannot remember for the life of me. Oh, also a T-shirt. I can't remember for the life of me who this listener was that sent me these things. But if you did, please reach out to me and let me know that it was you so I can give you so much love and a big shout out on the show. And maybe I'll mail you a gift as well. So please, whoever that is, please reach out to me. I want to make sure you guys also know about the Patreon. You don't have to mail me gifts. You can, cut me a little bit of cash each month so I can feed my caffeine addiction. You can do that by joining the Patreon. And with the Patreon, you also get things, you get stuff out of it. Like today, for instance, this morning I uploaded my headshot. So you get a free Jonesy headshot. Ridiculous. No, seriously, though, there's some cool shit on the Patreon. It's not just like throwing money at Jonesy. It's not that at all. You get stuff out of it. Extra bonus episodes. You get to download clips such as my comedy album and the Florida or the Alligators Everywhere song, etc., etc. So you get something out of it. And that good feeling that you're supporting a 5-day-a-week Weird News podcast that you love, that brings you happiness and maybe the occasional laugh on your commute to work or in the middle of your isolation. You know how it is. The scenario goes like this. Okay, you're stuck inside with your loved one, and it's been months, and you're starting to hate your loved one, and you need a laugh, and so you look to Weird AF News, and that gives you a little, I don't know, a little escape from your isolated reality with somebody that you can't stand. That was so dark. Please forgive me. Guys, don't worry. There's always divorce. Stupid. Anyways, I hope you have a great weekend. Join the page. Oh, I forgot to leave the Patreon URL. It's patreon.com/weirdafnews. Please support the show. And I love you very much. And we'll see you on Monday.